Hello, this is Joe Neely, and this is the Golden Hour. I am sitting in a wonderful seat where two gigantic trees become one tree. I don't know if you can see it, there's some of my stuff, but I'm a couple feet off the ground in a nice philosophical chair. It's like the philosopher's seat, I think I'll call it. I'm sitting not in a meditation pose today, but let me see if I can show you. Leg bent, other leg bent, like you're sitting in a chair, except you're sitting on a crazy tree thing, so you're like off kilter, right? So, elbow on one knee, hand on the other, much like a Greek philosopher. And I find for this seat, it is relatively comfortable. So, having a lovely day off in the woods. Yesterday, I took a day off from the golden hour. That was because I was cycling for many hours. I'm estimating 50 plus miles yesterday. I did a scouting trip down to Tampa and did not find a place to stay and came all the way back. So I ended up doing twice the miles I thought I would. But that's only inspired me to do some more digging, and I found some really great options for all kinds of free camping. That's wonderful and legal and safe and fantastic. And I will take another stab at the Tampa area very soon. So, given that adventure yesterday, I have to say I'm proud of myself. I had some successes, like I biked a long distance. I had a great social interaction with a woman that I met at a coffee shop. I had a wonderful interaction with a man I met meditating by the highway, as I am wont to do. He's actually one of those guys who spins signs around to advertise things, and he was meditating before his shift. So, I'm very excited to talk about a lot of yesterday. Yes, I didn't make a video, and today is going to be pretty much all about yesterday. Today is just me living in the woods for a day, having a nice time, doing a little work on the computer, playing some games on the computer, and taking it easy after the big trip yesterday. But I was speaking with this gentleman beside the road and with the woman in the coffee shop. I went a long distance, probably 50 miles or more, which for me is a lot. Might be the most on this leg of the trip, which means 3 months. Beyond all of that, which I will get to, I'm listing it off so I remember. But beyond all of that, I'm really proud of myself for staying in a good mood when things didn't work out the way I wanted, when I needed to put in physical exertion, give up other things that I wanted to do, like the golden hour and staying in Tampa for a while, and I just felt okay. I said, this is happening, okay, and I just didn't worry about it. I've really developed an instinct, or maybe returned to an instinct, of all is well, no matter what. And something I've learned a lot about on this trip. Releasing fear and not feeling, not feeling bad when I don't get what I want. So, I spoke with a gentleman, the sign spinning gentleman, who was either praying or meditating. I assume it's meditating, though he had his hand in a prayer position, so, I didn't really know what he was up to. But I spoke with him for a while, and he seemed to know quite a bit about meditation and had a very clear, present, I don't know how to say it. It's not the claw. I'm trying to show like an energy coming out from a person's eyes, but if I do that, the hand gets in front of my face, so you can't really see anything. But what I mean is, he had a very clear, present energy, which was fantastic. Yeah, gonna send a mosquito to be recycled on the forest floor as something else, hopefully not another mosquito. But he was very interesting. He did not want to stay in touch, though he said we had a kinship together, and that he didn't speak to a lot of people, but spoke to me for that reason. Part of me feels that he's on a higher level, or that he's progressed with meditation and spirituality further than I have. And part of me sees him as different than me. I also know that I've progressed in certain ways further than he. And it's natural for people to compare ourselves to others. He didn't want to stay in touch, like I said. He just didn't think that was right. And I, of course, love to stay in touch. I'm staying in touch with you right now on the video. So, people are different. I guess he seemed to think that staying in touch with people somehow diminished, his spiritual world, that it was all about getting out of your head and into your body. He spoke about some chemicals. He was using different serotonin. He said they were chemicals to increase serotonin, but I think they may be SSRIs, reuptake inhibitors, or maybe something else. So I don't know exactly what he was using or what it was. But he was talking about, mental health drugs that you can get, and he was able to access them cheaply and thought that they had no side effects and they were great for him. And I'm sure that they are. I was surprised that he was so deep into that when he was so avoidant of so many other things. Maybe that's the one blessing he was very easily able to appreciate. I don't know. But he was talking about how that, in conjunction with meditation, really worked for him, helped him see the world from a whole different perspective. So I found that fascinating. If any of you are chemical meditators, whether you're smoking a joint and meditating, or using legal drugs, or whatever else you may be into, maybe some traditional herbal stuff that I don't even know about, let me know how that works for you. I'm curious for anybody who had a similar experience to leave that in the comments, and let me know what they find, what they've found so far at least. That doesn't feel like a right path for me, but it was fascinating to find someone for whom it was. Like I said, I also spoke with a woman in a coffee shop. I was very excited to get to a coffee shop. You can't always find them out in the woods or even in the towns close to the woods. So it was nice to be in an urban area and get to a coffee shop, Starbucks. Sometimes I'll go to places like fast food joints, or even if I'm lucky, like a Panera Bread is a little better. Something with a little soul, some Wi-Fi, and hopefully some people to talk to. Interesting people who are doing things with their lives. That's what really matters to me. And yeah, I've been able to find some of those people. And I know that there's a greater likelihood of finding them in cafes. Now, don't get me wrong, I know that there are cafes much more interesting and diverse than Starbucks, and I'm aiming towards those as well. But a Starbucks is still better than something that isn't a coffee house, right? There's a sliding scale is what I'm trying to say. And I was in the Starbucks and spoke with a woman who was trying to convert me to Christianity. And we were also romantically interested in each other, at least a bit of flirting. And that was fun. I don't know if I've spoken about this yet, but I've been working on my social skills for many years. Especially after I quit drinking alcohol, I found I needed to actually learn how to talk to people instead of just getting drunk and letting verbal vomit fall out of my mouth. Um, with that kind of loose speech, you could say things that are brilliant. You can be unstifled and you can be yourself, but you can also let out some of the worst parts of yourself, which are not for sharing. There's certain negative parts of ourselves that we can release in other ways, so that they don't hurt us and other people. Anyway, for me, booze is bad. I'm not saying it's bad for everyone, but I don't do it. Not anymore. So, spoke with this woman, did some flirting. Like I said, I've been working on my social skills, including social skills with women I'm attracted to. And I highly recommend the YouTube videos of the whole crew at RSD, Real Social Dynamics, who help men learn how to talk to women, especially the kind of men who may have been stifled through past experiences, men who don't know how to express themselves. I wonder if I'd be doing this if I hadn't learned how to express myself better. I find as I do, I have a better life, I attract friends and some people who are more than friends into my life, which is fascinating and rewarding. It's funny to see that certain things I thought were true aren't. That if you are confident, that in itself is a valuable commodity and something people gravitate towards. So, I may talk more about social skills at some point, but that's something that's valuable to me and something that I've learned throughout my life rather slowly. I don't know that I have a talent for it, but I have a great desire to be good with people, despite any of my proclivities or lack of understanding people, which I still have, but not as much. Taking people too literally. I've considered myself one of those people on the edge of autism or Asperger's, like someone on the scale, close enough to normal that I can kind of function in society and kind of live in the woods, but you get the idea. I'm working on connecting with people, and that's what this video is all about. So, like I said, I connected with a man and a woman. This woman, like I said, was trying to convert me to Christianity, but that's okay. That's one way to have a nice conversation with someone. And I asserted myself quite a bit, not enough to make her less than she was, not to put her down, but not to allow myself to be put down or to give away any of my power, which is a challenge, especially when you're dealing with true believers of major religions. So that was nice. I was able to, like I said, maintain a flirtatious conversation, even though we were disagreeing about beliefs and talking about these things, and I was able to share what I felt, and so was she. I think the most important thing to be said there is that I disagree with the notion in Christianity and some other religions that there's something wrong with me, that we have original sin, that just by being born a human you're automatically bad and wrong. That's not the case. And I don't believe that individuals, as they go through their life and make choices, commit sins, commit things so bad that they should be punished forever or that they should be separated from God. If that word God is complicated, and I use it when I'm talking about Christians because you kind of have to. I really like one of my favorite teachers, my favorite teacher, my very favorite teacher, Abraham Hicks. Doesn't like the word God, says, we've made it too vague and we don't really know what it means. And sometimes also refers to what man wants to call God, that divine which is in every one of us, in the entire world, and outside of the world. That great divine is us and everything else, and it is you. You are God. You are the divine. And when you and I look each other in the eye, we see the light of the divine. We see the divine in each other. So, I don't believe that we are guilty. I don't believe that we sin. If we make a choice and we don't like the outcome, we can choose a different outcome. If we choose to hurt other people or damage them in some way, the society can choose to keep us, locked away apart from the other people. I understand that there is morality. I understand that we make choices as a culture. Not all of them are ones that I would agree with, but I agree with some of them. And that's what a culture is. It's a compromise between everybody's different beliefs about what should be allowed and not. So I think it's really fascinating to talk with people who believe things other than I believe and not try to convert them. They can try to convert me. That's their business. But I'm really interested in connecting with people who want to talk about the things that matter most. That is the most important thing. As you know, I love doing that one-on-one in conversation. It can create delightful sensations inside of me. And if that person happens to be someone I'm attracted to, those two energies of talking about the things that matter most and, romantic, physical attraction, whatever you want to call that, interest, shared interest, I'm not exactly sure. I'm going to find a word for that. But anyway, you know what I mean. When I'm enjoying that type of conversation I like to have with everyone, with someone I also might be interested in getting to know better on an intimate level, and then some very cool things can happen. I felt just the inkling of the beginnings of that with this person yesterday. Though I have to say I chickened out. I didn't push any further because I was in public and I didn't know how far I could go. Of course, the only way you find that out is by trying. I recommend that you cross these lines and find out if they're real. Push a little further and see if you were reading somebody right. Take a risk. Can you take a conversation deeper? Can you take physical interactions deeper? Or is that inappropriate? You need to be able to read them and have intuition. I thought I saw a deer, but I didn't. I thought I heard one and then I didn't see it. Point is, take a risk, cross what you think is a boundary and see if it is. Now, don't cross other people's boundaries very much. If they give you a clear boundary and tell you exactly where it is, don't cross them at all. What I'm talking about is where you think they would be comfortable or uncomfortable with an interaction. Give it a shot, see what happens. Make an attempt to get to know them, take things to the next step. Like I said, I did some of that. I had a great flirting experience. I'm curious about what would have happened if I would have tried more. And that's what I'm saying, not just about social circumstances, but about everything. My trip, my simplifying my life and traveling around and living in the woods, I didn't think this was possible. I didn't think it was acceptable. I didn't think it was doable. And it is. I tried a lot of different boundaries and crossed different lines to see which ones were firm boundaries that I shouldn't cross, which ones were gray areas that, I had a very low risk, so I might as well give it a shot if I felt in my heart I wanted to do it. Also, there's other lines that just don't exist. They're things that I thought were impossible that just are totally possible. So, whether it's with people or with a lifestyle, cross these boundaries. My only advice is cross them a little bit. Try something small and see if it works. If you're interested in, moving the physical interaction ahead with a potential lover, try something small, see what reaction they get. Don't try something big or bad things will happen. You can spook people, you can scare people, you can damage your reputation. If you're doing lifestyle choices, please do not, quit your job today and go live in the woods. Try something small. Go camping, look for different ways to work. move slowly. If you're changing your diet, move slowly. I became a vegan over a matter of years, and I love it. It's good for me, but I don't want anybody to stop eating meat today and jump into my diet. Don't do it. Move slowly and see what's right for you. There's a spectrum of ways to eat, from unhealthy meats to healthy meats, to cutting out red meats but eating white meats, to cutting that out and then eating fish. And then you can do dairy and cheese and milk and cut out some of that and eventually go vegan. Okay, there's a big spectrum there. And even then, like, I've cut out sugar. That's a different kind of side tangent from that, but it's a related subject. Or cutting out certain chemicals. I do use a bit of caffeine, but that's really the only chemical I use. And in extreme moderation. Though, I find it's easier to cut things out than to do them in moderation. If it's something I really like, it's easier to just cut it out and do without it than try to fight that craving every day. So, a lot of advice about the people I met yesterday, and most importantly, about success. I successfully did not feel bad when I went out on an adventure, hoped to find something, did not find it, and had to do a whole bunch of other work and tired myself out. And I felt fine the whole time. That, more than anything, is my success of yesterday. And this extremely long video is just about over. As you can see, I'm getting ready to turn it off and also bobbling it around. I am Joe Daly. My show that you're watching right now is The Golden Hour, which I record every day during the golden hour, the last hour of the day before the sunset. I am available through YouTube. You can leave comments there. You can also leave comments on my website, website, joedeely.net/golden hour. I will talk slower and make fewer mistakes. So, that's it. Stay in touch with me. Let me know what your thoughts are on this. And I really want to talk with you more about tree pose and forward folds. I thought I was going to get that done today, but we're going to talk about that tomorrow. So stay tuned, all of you who would like to be more flexible and rubber bandy. Have a lovely day. Bye-bye.